Latasha Jackson. And this is for the video assignment. The student will present the information on neurological contributors in a consistent manner, discussing key points of selected topics. Student will provide opinion of how the neurological contributors could have been responsible for a criminal event. Well, underlying the behavioral and academic problems that many aggressive children exhibit are a variety of neurological deficits that are linked to dysfunction in several brain regions. Numerous studies show that aggressive and violent children and adults repeatedly perform more poorly than do controls on electroencephalographic electrical encephalographic and some forms of neurocognitive neurocognitive testing. I'm sorry. I get my tongue tied. Cognitive testing reveals that violent offenders who were abused as children shows marked deficits in the working memory, executive functioning, and attention seeking. Um, Considering the number of violent criminals who were abused as children, the environmental requirements of early brain development, and the neurological changes that result from chronic or acute stress. It is conceivable that violent and antisocial behavior is tied to the neurophysiological changes resulting from abuse, meaning children who basically are abused or neglected don't develop the somatic markers necessary for fear conditioning or social decision making. Also, considering that most seriously violent offenders were abused and that most violent adults were also violent and aggressive as children, it stands to reason that the early indicators of behavioral dysfunction identified in some studies might represent early neurological responses to abuse. Um, I believe that in this case, I believe that in the case with the guy Bobby Joe Long is a prime example where neurological contributors may have been responsible for his criminal events in some weird way, I guess, being that he suffered from a genetic disorder characterized by an extra X chromosome causing his glands to produce abnormal amounts of estrogen. Besides from genetic and family problems, Long also suffered a series of grievous head injuries beginning at the age of 5. From him being knocked unconscious in a fall from a swing, him being thrown from his bicycle and crashing headfirst into a parked car, also crashing. Well, also when he grew up, he crashed a motorcycle, shattering his helmet with the impact of his skull on asphalt. Oh, he was alternately stricken by blinding headaches and unpredictable violent rages that eventually led to him lashing out on women for sex when his wife was no longer enough for him. And that situation, it was just crazy because, like I said, that was just that was a prime example. It led to him uh, raping women and going into their homes when their husbands and whatnot weren't home. He would rape them, and he eventually started killing a few, which led to, I want to say he's on the death penalty, or he was sentenced to die in 1985 because of that. But as I was stating, that's just, I guess, being that he had so many head injuries and from things from when him going back to when he was younger, it affected him in his adulthood, which was like messed up. Like you wanna feel bad for people like that, but you can't because it's like nothing should be able to drive you to commit murder, in my opinion.